David, look, I don't know about you, but I keep being surprised by the arrogance of many people on the left who really feel quite entitled to get in people's faces, misusing their positions, whether, company directors who decide, I'm going to splurge $2 million of taxpayers' money on The Voice or something like that, misusing their position to preach their politics, especially on race you find this, on identity politics you find this, and global warming. I'll give you an example last night on the ABC, of course. It's finance presenter Alan Kohler using his ostensibly market report for a little preaching.
So the average rate being paid has barely moved. And finally, the extent of Antarctic sea ice is at a new record low this year, quite a bit lower than last year's previous record low. That's not finance yet, but it soon will be.
Just such outrageous cherry picking. I mean, Kohler should have mentioned good things about global warming, like it seems to be increasing crops, giving the world record harvests of grain to feed more people. But his alarmism is one thing, David. What do you make of him hijacking an ABC finance report to preach his global warming doom?
What, this surprises you? An ABC presenter, past, present, future, over the last 20 years and into the next 20 years, preaching on climate, on the climate. I mean, the surprise would be that if he didn't take up climate in the finance segment. But I mean, the thing that's missing here is, what are you going to do about it, Alan, that actually works from a financial point of view? And there's very little there, and we're obviously tangled up with delivering a whole range of different energy solutions that may or may not hit targets and so on and so forth, and missing the big point about what the world is doing that has failed and how we're going to address reducing the loss of Antarctic sea ice if it is indeed at its lowest level.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And Michael, I mean, if he's looking at financial implications of changes and all that, he could point out that actually the Great Barrier Reef has had record coral cover lately, record. So that's good for tourism. He could have said that. He could have said we're getting fewer hurricanes and cyclones. That's actually good for the insurance companies, etc. The preaching is what gets me, the sense of entitlement to ram this down our throats.
Oh, that's the ABC, as David said, across the board. I mean, turn it off, turn any of their programs. Well, of course it's inappropriate, but that's about balance and it's about having a proper argument. What he should have focused on if he was interested in the finances is the extraordinary cost to business of the input energy costs into, unit costs of production. But clearly this is not what it's about. It's probably he's getting one of these ESG tick-offs and he had to get it out there somewhere, and this probably signs him off in his own company. Look, the ABC doesn't surprise me, anything it says.
No, yeah, you're right. Internet hero. The ABC cocks its snoot at the taxpayers, half of them conservative, saying we can do what we like with your money on the ABC. David Gazzard and Michael Costa, thank you both so much for your time. Really appreciate it.